Here's a guy who fully expected to spend his life giving prostate exams.
Episode 20, The Sad of Comedy, Part 1, Owen Benjamin and Sam Tripoli. Salutations. Thank you for joining us and welcome to Podcast. I am your host, Lily Abernathy. Wow, Episode 20. This is a bit crazy. I'm sure both my creative writing and art professors would be very ashamed of what I'm doing with my time, but alas, they can get Both of them used to let me take smoke breaks as a 16-year-old during Class 2, so I'm not really sure they were making the best decisions to begin with anyway. I hope you enjoyed our series the past 3 weeks covering the bad of comedy. While preparing to wind down the other night, a video came across my X, formerly Twitter feed. An 8-minute-long video of former comedian Owen Benjamin making some kind of dumb response to something Sam Tripoli had said about him on the internet.
I've been told that he has a hard time reading. I'm not trying to be a like literally one of his close friends has informed me Sam Tripoli doesn't read well. So I'm making a video just so he can definitely hear me. All right. And everyone can tell my tone is chill. The reason I was tweeting so much, I was doing cardio and I was bored. But I'm going to issue a challenge to Mr. Sam Tripoli. He's saying he's doing all this tweeting, enough tweeting. Okay. And I'm just responding. I didn't start the beef. I'm just responding to him.
All I could think was, wow, look at these two sad losers. Owen at some point was engaged to Christina Ricci and is now in what seems to be a 2005 Suburban, responding to a C-tier level comedian. I know some of you are going to get your panties in a bunch that I just called Sam a C-level tier comedian at best, but he's honestly just kind of a hack. While Owen had some sort of weird mental breakdown that led to him becoming basically outcast by everyone in the comedy community, Sam is very much the result of what happens when you do too much cocaine for like 2 decades. The dude is so space-brained, I'm getting irritated just thinking about him talk. They both suck, and I'm tired of them showing up in conversations at all. They are both just broken records repeating themselves, and sometimes even each other. They both got a little too involved in the politics of Hollywood. Well, maybe not Sam, he just kind of said, and then screams, OMG, where's Daddy Rogan's I need some cum, but you get the point. Politics are gay, always have been, always will be. And folks, what happens when we add politics to anything? That's right, say it with me aloud now, gay. That's what happens. So this week I present to you the first part of our series, The Sad of Comedy. Owen Benjamin and Sam Tripoli, just please shut the f up already. To spice things up, I'm going to only be pulling information about these two from their Wikipedia pages, along with what I know about them off the top of my head. We're doing this based God style this week. While Owen's wiki was rather simple to find, Sam's, on the other hand, is only available on the Spanish version of Wikipedia. But luckily for all of us, I'm fluent in Spanish. I've got to say, after taking a look at their credits, neither of these should show up in my feed at all. They both come off as those dudes who got a little too into counterculture, probably like Hunter Thompson a bit too much. They both did the things where they tried to play Hollywood's little game, but Hollywood didn't really want to with either of them. While it seems Owen actually had more opportunities and actually did some things, he was mostly outed from Hollywood, and even New Hollywood, for as Wikipedia would put it, being a member of the alt-right and expressing more extreme political views. While I don't think Owen is the type of dude who would show up to something lame like Jan 6 or anything like that, he did become awfully annoying on social media in the late 2010s. He did that thing where comedy wasn't the main focus, being correct and trying to make a political point became more important to him than funny. Now, what's interesting is Sam also tries to put himself in this same type of category for some reason. He's one of those dudes constantly complaining about politics and wokeism like he's some kind of free speech warrior. A lot of you are probably familiar with his podcast Tinfoil Hat about conspiracy theories. Look, I don't really like Sam, if we're going to be honest. He's just kind of a troll more than anything, and not a very good one. Half the time he doesn't even know what he's talking about, goes off on weird tangents, and repeats himself constantly. The podcast has got to be one of the most boring things I've ever listened to, and I watched both the Sandler and Adam Ray Rogan's this week. I mean, holy. You had one of the most iconic comedians ever on to talk longer than he ever has on camera before, and it was a rotation of the same stories we've already heard. That bald midget even said like half the stories again on the Adam Ray episode the next day. If you haven't seen my episode on Adam, go check it out. That dude is sad as too. In the industry like 20 years and only finally getting attention for a terrible Dr. Phil impression, not his actual stand-up, and quickly becoming a phony cringe-clit henchman. But let's get back to Tweedle 1 and 2. They both actually have connections with Rogan as well. Or they did. Sam still does, but that's just because he lets Rogan peg him. Owen, on the other hand, I believe had multiple appearances on Rogan and was quite friendly with him as well, but the episodes have been removed due to a falling out with Rogan. Rogan even had a moment during one of his podcasts asking Owen about his Twitter rants.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
I wanted to talk to you about social media.
Okay.
Because I love you.
I love you too.
I think you're a very good guy. I really do. But you are the worst representative of yourself on social media.
I'm a bad lawyer of myself.
It's a bad form of getting out tricky ideas. It's a bad form. It's just
Right.
not good. I mean, now it's, what is it, 280 now? 280 characters? It's better than it was. 140 was very rough. Like 140, you'd have to... You know, you have to really think about what you're saying.
It's like you're yelling like as you're falling into a well. You have like one sentence.
But you are, without a doubt, addicted. And I know you bailed on your phone for a while and you went to a flip phone.
Yeah.
But I see these manic tweets from you, and I just want to go hang out with you and go, dude, what are you doing? Like, why are you constantly tweeting and attacking people? And
it's like sometimes the chaos helps me. You're right. I mean, you're right.
Right.
Like, I'm not challenging that statement, but like, I see it as almost like an idea sonar where you're just like,
I get that. I get that, but I get that because I know you. And I know you're a really good dude in real life.
Thanks, man.
So when I see this online and I see these blurting outpost, just outbreak posts, they're just like, blah, like you got mental diarrhea. I mean, just let me see if I can throw the word here for a goof. Let me see if I can, say something that's going to piss people off. And it's just...
Sam, on the other hand, is very much of the school of Rogan comedy. He loves yelling and he loves basic comedy. God forbid anybody do anything creative with the in quotations art form. But let's not forget, he was one of 2 comedians at the Comedy Store to perform his first set as a regular in the main room, the other being Roseanne. You know, during the time that he was also performing on shows for Mitzi, titled Arabian Nights, because he was an Armo, quite possibly the second most annoying group of people in Los Angeles after the... Just look at the Kardashians and all the horror they've brought to the world. While I haven't met Owen at all, I have met Sam at least 3 times that I can remember. Each time unprompted, he somehow brought Joe Rogan into the conversation. And what I found funny about that is that every time he did that, he was always kind of talking a little about him, while also being like, but yeah, I know the dude. Look, I spent most of my 20s working the service industry, and I'm not one of those people that think they need to get paid more by any means. But working at one of the busiest bars in a beach community, where you deal with at least 1,000 people in a given evening individually, definitely teaches you how to read people. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm about to quit everything and go back to doing that. was making like $1,500 a week on a slow week, and everyone I worked with were funnier than most professional comedians. But like I said, you learn how to read people, especially if you want to make as much money as possible. And while I am not fond of either subject today, I will say as people I don't think either of them are necessarily evil or bad people, grifters in their own right for sure, annoying as you betcha. Basic comedians with a touch of right-wing salt and unoriginal material, no doubt. Sad as without a shadow of a doubt. Owen's in his mid-40s and Sam is 50. They both have children, and they really haven't achieved all that much, considering the amount of time they've been in the industry. I'm not sure Owen is even a comic anymore. Not that he was ever seriously on my radar, but after he just couldn't shut the up about politics, it's like miss me with that gay. Tripoli is so reliant on knowing Joe Rogan for his career that he can't go 24 hours without a Daddy Rogan cum-infused protein shake. I mean, Tripoli's career is so reliant on knowing other people that he's like, it. I got Brendan Schwab, Chris D'Elia, and Brian Callen's back. I'm for sure not a believe all women person. Women are truly trifling sometimes. But two of these men had some serious allegations of sexual assault or misconduct with women, some being underaged. Brendan just cheated on his wife.
Starting emergency call to the SOS service provided by the manufacturer. To cancel, press the SOS or cancel button. Starting SOS call.
It's just incredibly sad seeing two grown men with kids, who are mid-comedians at best, bickering like children on X, formerly Twitter, talking about lawyers and other gay. Grow the up already and raise your kids. They don't want to see their fathers act like women on their periods on X, formerly Twitter. They want to watch Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
Wonderfully barbaric. Go on, take a poke at me. I know that's what you really want to do. Come on.
I'll wager 5 bars of Latinum on Cisco. You're on.
Fight back. This is supposed to be brutal.
You can pay me out of your profits from the auction.
Honestly, the only one of Rogan's boys that I've with that I can think of off the top of my head is Greg Fitzsimmons. Guy rules and is a fun hang. Oh, and friend of the show, Dom Herrera. Well, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. I'm not sure part 2 will be next week, but it will be soon. Please also check out the new podcast titled Movie Goons, hosted by the White Hotep with Troy Heesh. Their most recent episode was about the 1996 film Independence Day. Please also check out Crackamico's latest live stream from this past weekend, Crack House Call-In Show number 1. What a great time that was.
Let's get to another caller. This next guy is very frightening, honestly. He's been very close to his camera, alarmingly close. He seems to have been talking to himself the entire time that the show has been going on. But he's also a big supporter. So let's bring on Broke the Gin, everybody.
Oh God!
What's up?
What's
Yo,
up?
nice shirt and hat, dude.
What's the hat?
LA is gay.
That's
Oh,
big
nice.
facts. It's big facts, Broke the Gin. How are you,
LA
buddy?
is gay.
It's so good to see you in this forum, because
Thank you.
yeah,
and
It's coming
in
to us
addition a
live from the
Coliseum,
Spencer's Gifts.
this is not just a Coliseum, it's also a forum. So it's a little Greek, a little Roman, you know?
Yeah. Hold on.
Broke the Gin looks like a created
A
character.
little Greek, a little Roman. Sounds like me and my in-laws.
To take the hard edge off of me. Say hi to this
Aw.
Skelly. Say hi to
Aw.
this Skelly.
The dog looks so scared.
Hello, dog. Yeah.
Hey, happy birthday, Snoopy, by the way. I want to shout out Snoopy.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Snoopy.
So I got the black light going, but
Hell yeah, dude.
These,
How are
these
you?
are
How
my
are you feeling,
import
Jen?
glasses too. Like they can
Wait.
be at the poker table. I can see.
Are black lights just for menthols?
To everyone that contacted me about receiving the podcast with Lily Abernathy sticker pack number 1, they should have all been shipped today, August 16th, actually. So please be on the lookout and enjoy. This week, I have decided no outro song. I finished Mike Rainey's new book, Delco Dirtball, this week. I enjoyed the book as expected, so I've decided to let the promo I made for it be the outro this week, in hopes this is one of the episodes on YouTube that gets hundreds of views. Also, shout out Sumo Dog and stay based. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the podcast. Follow us at Podcast the Pod on X, formerly Twitter. This has been Lily Abernathy, signing off.
Evil minds that plot destruction. Sorcerers of death's construction. In the fields of bodies burning. As the war machine keeps turning. Death and hatred to mankind. Poisoning their brainwashed minds. Oh Lord, yeah.
Yo, somebody's been back in jujitsu, dude.
Motherfucker doing wrestling drills.
You got me on my pig.
Today is the day, folks. Comedian, podcaster, author, and all-around great guy Mike Rainey's new book, Delco Dirtball, is officially being released today. Here is a brief description of the book. Tommy and Fats are two neighborhood dirtballs who share bunk beds and a dream to one day make it out of their hometown, Delco, where hopelessness, poverty, and addiction reign supreme. That dream becomes a reality when Tommy's estranged crackhead father enlists him in a check cashing scheme that would turn their lives around. However, all that changes when Tommy and Fats are wrongfully accused of murdering their pervert boss at Halloween Quest. While brain-damaged Fats peddles his old mongoose bike as reformed wigger Tommy rides his pegs, they must navigate the f***ed-up streets of Delco to commit check-cashing fraud, while also ripping off drug dealers, fighting obese Arby's managers, and getting pussy from dirt-footed chicks with wet buns and strap-on dildos. With all odds stacked against them, they are pushed towards achieving their dreams by a schizophrenic arsonist, a fat-titted cashier with an ATV and a disgusting stripper whose barbed wire tattoo around her C-section scar belies a heart of gold. This book is guaranteed to make you laugh, cry, and check outside to make sure no one is stealing your catalytic converter. Available now at onperks.com. Make sure to check out Mike's other book as well, On Perks. It is a detailed account of his descent into prescription painkiller addiction through hundreds of his most unsettling, intoxicated Facebook posts and their subsequent analyses. Make sure to check out Mike's podcasts Dad Meat and Lil Stinkers. Dad Meat is co-hosted by fellow comedian Tim Butterly and often includes their personal friends around the Philly area as well as other comedians. Lil Stinkers is co-hosted by fellow comedian John Del Corlo and is about focusing on the funny aspect of people who have done horrible things. Do you find it funny that Jeffrey Dahmer was the class clown? Think it's hilarious that John Wayne Gacy was a KFC manager? Are you tickled pink that Casey Anthony made detectives bring her to Universal Studios? If so, then I believe this podcast is perfect for you. Have a blessed day.